goddamn, it's good to be back at the movies. It's even more special because my first movie back happens to be Tenet, the new film from Christopher Nolan. When Nolan releases a film, it's like an event to me. To me, he's a genre all unto himself at this point. There's only two guys, in my opinion, who can attract that kind of attention. One being Tarantino, and the other being Christopher Nolan. And rightfully so, I might add. If you sit down to watch a Christopher Nolan movie, you know you're going to be in for a unique experience. And Tenet is no exception to that. I do really feel like this movie should have been called Inversion or Inverted or something like that. Just so it fits in with like Insomnia and Inception and Interstellar. He feels like he had some consistency with his names going there for a minute. Regardless, Tenet is essentially a spy story. If you follow Christopher Nolan, you'll know that's something he's been looking into doing for quite some time now. He's expressed interest in making Bond movies in the past, so this kind of feels like his version of that, I guess you could say. Of course, in Nolan fashion, though, he adds this backdrop of this inversion technology, which is what you see a lot of in the trailers. You add all this together and you get these high concept ideas that we are accustomed to seeing from Nolan. Tenet feels very much in the vein of Inception to me. They have a very real problem that they need to address or solve, and they use this mind-bending new concept to do so. John David Washington and Robert Pattinson feel very much like this film's version of Leo and Tom Hardy like we got in Inception. Both guys, I might add, are very gifted actors, and I thought did a great job in this. They had chemistry together. It was just a really good on-screen duo. Like, people keep doubting Pattinson, and I'm just telling you, he's so far removed from the Twilight shit that, like, it doesn't even matter anymore. Like, he's a completely different person as an actor now, and people need to recognize that. I feel like it's almost kind of impossible to review a film like this off of just one viewing. Not because it's poorly written or anything like that, but just because the ideas in it are so big that it might take multiple viewings to fully grasp them or understand them. So I'm just saying, if you go into this prepared to have to think a little bit. There's been a lot of complaints about the sound and the music kind of drowning out the dialogue, and it's making it difficult for people to follow the story. The whole loud music, loud sound thing feels like a creative choice at this point, because I feel like we talk about it every time a Nolan film comes out. Like, there's always some character that you have a difficult time understanding, or some scene where you can't quite make out all the dialogue. Maybe Christopher Nolan just wants us to be confused when we watch his films. There's a line in the movie that says, "Don't try to understand it," and nothing could be further from the truth as it pertains to this movie. And to be quite honest, that could be a tagline on just about any Christopher Nolan movie to date. Like, I just don't think you can understand it after one viewing. I don't think it's possible. I felt like there were parts in the middle that did seem to drag a little bit, but they were all necessary parts. It's not like you could have necessarily took them out of the movie, because they were there to set up the conflict. So you need those elements to the story. However, by the time the third act hits, it really starts to dive deep into the whole inverted idea. It turns into like a complete mindfuck and is absolutely awesome. There's literally a point in the film where the script kind of gets flipped, no pun intended. And as it was happening, I was just sitting there and I was like, what? Again, one of those scenes that I'm going to have to rewatch to fully grasp. The action sequences are really badass, and they really make you think about like how they accomplished that. Like, how did they go about shooting that? It'd be really interesting to see later on down the road when the Blu-ray comes out and you're able to watch special features, like how they pulled off some of these stunts and just some of the visuals in this movie, because they really are mind-bending, to be quite honest. It seems like a lot of them, especially the final one, would have taken a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, and just a lot of attention to detail. But to me, that's what makes Nolan great. It always feels like Nolan is 10 steps ahead of all of us, and we're just trying to keep up. In conclusion, Tenet is another high concept idea from Christopher Nolan. It will definitely require multiple viewings, but there's also something to be said about experiencing the spectacle on the big screen for the first time, because there's definitely some appeal there. This type of shit is what makes Nolan who he is. He's constantly pushing the boundaries as a filmmaker and attempting to show us things that we've never seen before on screen. We really need to appreciate Christopher Nolan, because there's not a lot of people in Hollywood doing these types of things. So I highly recommend Tenet. I encourage everyone to go out to the theaters. Be safe, of course, and if possible, support this movie because it deserves it. Have you seen Tenet? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.